Hey, friends. If you're watching this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments section below. I want to know where you're tuning in from and how far my story has reached. This is something that happened to me, and I can't shake the fear and relief that came with it. I'm still processing the whole ordeal, but I know one thing's for certain. It's a story that will stick with me forever. Let me take you back to a cold night I'll never forget. I live in a small, old house in the outskirts of Pineville, a town so quiet, it feels like time moves a little slower here. I've been living alone ever since my son, Luke, passed away unexpectedly a few years ago. But that night, my granddaughter, Mia, was staying over. Her mother, my daughter-in-law, Alice, had to work late, so she dropped Mia off with me for a rare sleepover. But when Alice arrived that evening, something felt off. As usual. She looked worn out. She had the same distant look in her eyes she always had since Luke's passing, but tonight, her behavior was strange. She stood at the door, clutching her purse tightly, eyes darting around, as if she was expecting something or someone to jump out at her. She kept asking, "You're sure you're okay with Mia staying the night?" She asked me that same question 3 times. It was unlike her. There was a hesitation in her voice, an edge to her that I couldn't ignore. Mia, my little ray of sunshine, was clutching her stuffed bunny, Fuzzball, tightly against her chest. She'd been acting strange, too, so quiet and withdrawn for a 5-year-old. Far too much for a girl who used to light up every room with her laughter. I did my best to smile, to give Alice a sense of calm. She kissed Mia on the forehead, whispered something to her, and left. I didn't even have time to ask if she was okay. I took Mia inside and tried to make things feel normal. But something was wrong. Mia barely touched the dinner I'd made for her. Barely said a word. She curled up on the couch, eyes glued to the TV. But I knew she wasn't watching. She seemed lost, like she was miles away. That night, after I tucked her into bed, I heard the softest sobs coming from her side of the room. I rushed over, but Mia was still asleep, shaking. Her words, even in her sleep, broke my heart. "Grandma, I'm scared. Don't leave me." I didn't know what to make of it. I just held her until the sobs subsided, hoping she'd find peace in my arms. The next morning, things didn't get any better. Mia came into the kitchen, red-eyed, her teddy bear clutched to her chest like a lifeline. She sat at the table, staring at her food without touching it. I tried to ask her how she slept, but she only said, "Grandma, Mom told me not to tell you what I saw at home." My stomach dropped. I tried to keep my voice steady. "Sweetheart, what did you see?" And then, with a look of terror, Mia whispered, "Grandma, there's a little girl locked in the basement at Mom's house. She cries a lot and says her hands hurt." I felt like the ground beneath me cracked wide open. My heart pounded in my chest, my hands shaking as I tried to hold it together. I couldn't ignore it. Mia's voice was full of fear, and I knew she wasn't lying. Something was terribly wrong. But what could I do? Mia was just a child. I had no proof. Who would believe me if I told them? Still, I knew I couldn't let this go. I called the police. I had to. But when I went to the authorities, they didn't take me seriously at first. A child's imagination, they said. A neighbor's odd story about seeing a little girl at Alice's house late at night. Nothing to go on. They couldn't act without more evidence. I felt helpless, but I couldn't stop. I had to protect Mia, and whatever was locked away in that basement needed to be brought into the light. Then, something strange happened. My neighbor, Mr. Grayson, a retired cop, told me he'd seen Alice sneaking out late one night with a little girl. It wasn't Mia. His story sent chills through me. I had no choice but to push on. I went to the police again. This time with something that might change everything: a video. Mr. Grayson had managed to capture footage from his security cameras showing Alice hurriedly bringing a child into her home after dark. The girl was smaller than Mia, with ragged clothes, looking terrified. I handed over the video, my heart racing. The police, finally taking me seriously, began investigating. And that's when everything started unraveling. They discovered that the child in the video was a missing girl named Chloe, missing for over a week. And Mia's words about the crying child in the basement were true. The truth was so much darker than I could have imagined. The investigation dug deeper into Alice's life. It turned out Alice had been involved in a dangerous cult of fact that stunned me to my core. She'd been using Mia to cover up her secret life. The authorities found evidence in the basement books with strange symbols, twisted teachings from a group I had never heard of, but had caused a stir in the news months earlier. But it didn't stop there. Alice tried to run, but the truth couldn't be hidden anymore. The neighbors, the people who had once looked at me with suspicion for speaking out, came forward. They'd heard things. They'd seen strange things. Chloe's cries, the odd lights at night. And they finally believed me. It was too late for Alice. The police arrested her, and the truth came crashing down. But what broke me more was seeing Mia's face. The girl who'd been too scared to speak now had the courage to tell the truth. She'd saved Chloe's life, and as for Chloe, she was finally back with her family. The Vances, their relief was palpable, their gratitude boundless. They thanked me endlessly, but I knew Mia was the real hero. I can't shake the image of her face that night. The fear, the confusion, the pain. She was just a little girl who should never have had to carry such a burden. But Mia's courage showed me that even in the darkest of times, there's always a light, no matter how small. I won't stop fighting for Mia. And now, I want to know what you think. If you were in my shoes, would you have done the same thing? Would you have stepped up even when no one believed you? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more true stories of survival and strength. Stay safe, and thank you for being part of this journey with me.